Ah, thank you. Sorry about that, guys. I'm going to start over. I just realized I forgot to press the button for my microphone. Thank you so much, Willie. All right, I'm going to go back to the top here. So, welcome again to our Money Monday live training. Today, I'm going to talk about 8 different crypto scams and what you can do to avoid them. Plus, I'm going to share some of my personal experiences that I've had with scams. Now, after the training, if you found any of this information helpful, please give me a 1 in the comments. Your feedback truly helps me know whether I'm providing content that you guys want or not. Okay, let's get started. So there are 8 different scams that I'm going to talk about today. And thank you again, Willie, for letting me know I forgot to turn the microphone on. There's 8 different scams I'm going to talk about, but truly there are so many crypto scams out there that we could spend a week talking about just crypto scams. So I've chosen these 8 because I feel like they're the ones that I hear about the most, and some of them are ones I've actually experienced. So you guys aren't the only ones that are concerned about scams. And I want to share with you that when I first got started in crypto back in 2015, in 2015 there was only cryptocurrency you could buy. It was Bitcoin. And then in 2016, when I bought my second cryptocurrency, there was only 2 cryptocurrencies you could buy, Bitcoin and Ether. And back then, scams just weren't around yet. There wasn't much to have to worry about other than the typical scams, that you have to deal with through your computer anyway, like email scams, malware, and all that kind of stuff. So this is kind of relatively new in the last few years for all these scams popping up, and I'm afraid that they're going to keep growing. They're so successful apparently for these crypto scammers that they're just not backing down. So let's go ahead and get started. The very first scam I want to talk about are fake crypto exchanges. Now, there are fake crypto exchanges that look and operate just like a legitimate trading platform. They allow you to deposit funds, and they probably even let you make some trades to make it look really legitimate. But then when you go to withdraw your funds, it doesn't work, they don't let you, or they have an excuse as to why they can't release your funds. So I'm going to share a little story about a guy who called me when I was still working in the accounting business. I just retired last summer. And while I was an accountant, I specialized in helping people with crypto. And folks would call me out of the blue sometimes because my phone number was on the internet, and they just wanted to talk or try to get some tech support about their crypto issue. And this guy called me up and said, "Look, I can't get my money off this exchange. Can you help me? What can I do?" And what he had done is he deposited $40,000 to a crypto exchange that was not a well-known exchange. And when he tried to withdraw money from the exchange, he told me that they told him that he had to pay them ridiculous amounts of money to withdraw his crypto. And I felt really bad for the guy, but he told me the name of the exchange, and I honestly, unfortunately, can't remember it anymore. It was last year when I had this conversation with him. But while he was sharing his story with me, I literally did about 60 seconds to 2 minutes worth of research on the internet about this exchange. And I had all kinds of red flags coming up that I would never have sent any money to this thing. So to just be safe, when it comes to a centralized exchange, because that's what he was using, not a decentralized exchange, he had sent his money to a centralized exchange, which is kind of the same as you going and putting your money in a bank. The bank controls your money when you put it there. If you go to withdraw your money, you are hoping the bank will let you withdraw it. And there are times when they don't. If you try to withdraw a large amount of money all at once in cash, they won't let you withdraw it. I have heard so many stories of my former clients who couldn't withdraw large amounts of cash. So when it comes to exchanges, only use well-known exchanges. And which ones are those? Let's see, there's Coinbase, there's Binance.us, there's Bittrex, there's KuCoin. Now that one's out of the country, and that one's some people think it's a little shady, but I don't. I use KuCoin. I've used it for years, and I like it. There's Binance, the international version of Binance. If I could, I would be using Binance.com. I love that platform, but U.S. citizens were told we were kicked out a couple years ago by Binance because of U.S. regulators. Let's see. So what else? What other ones are there? Oh, there's Kraken. That's a good one. Gemini. That's a good one. So there's plenty of good exchanges out there. You don't need to go try these little podunk places. Now, oftentimes people are drawn to these because maybe this fake exchange says they're gonna offer you some kind of special reward, or they're gonna let you have all your trades for free for a year, or they're gonna offer you something that just sounds too good to be true. So just be aware of that. Okay, number 2. Phishing attacks that steal your login information. Now, this really is not specific just to crypto. This is commonplace with all email. You have to be so careful. There are phishing emails that get sent to our inbox, and there's an attachment or a link in there that is disguised as a legitimate message, either from someone you know or from a business you've done business with. So just be careful. My motto is, or my, not motto, but what I do is I don't ever click a link in an email. If there's a link in an email that I think that I want to use, I will actually take a piece of that link that has information in it that I recognize, and I'll copy and paste it into a browser, and I'll go directly to the site. That way, I don't have to take a chance that I'm going to click on something in an email that's going to end up being malicious. And I'm happy to say I have never gotten a virus of any kind. And I do currently use some pretty good malware software. I use Bitdefender. I really like it. It's not necessarily the cheapest, but it keeps me from going to fake websites or websites that could have malicious stuff going on. I get fake emails supposedly from Coinbase. I look at the email, and let's see, I can't see what the rest of it says. Yeah, I look at the email addresses. Yeah, look at the email addresses too. Absolutely, Willie. That's the other thing I do without even thinking about it. I always look at the email addresses and see where is it coming from. And unfortunately, the well-known crypto businesses out there, especially like Coinbase and Binance.us and now FTX, that's another one that's becoming more popular in the US, FTX.us. These scammers pretend to be these businesses that you work with. So you have to be extremely careful. And I hate to say that we have to be so careful, but in this day and age, you don't want to touch anything on your computer unless you're very confident about what you're doing. Okay, so that was number 2, phishing attacks that steal your login information. Number 3 is cryptojacking, to mine cryptocurrencies on your computer. Now, I think this one, again, is relatively new. Probably many of these are relatively new because that's not something I had ever heard about. But cryptojacking is an attack where the attacker runs cryptocurrency mining software on your hardware, usually your PC, without your permission. But when I researched this, it said that they could actually do this on your phone, possibly your tablet. So how are you going to know when this is going on? Well, there are things you can look for. So your PC, if it's happening on your desktop computer, your PC will probably start performing slower. It'll use more power. It probably also would generate more heat. So the fan is probably going to start running more. You might hear it whirring in the background. If it's your laptop, your battery's not going to last as long. It's going to die faster. And also if it's your desktop, well, possibly your laptop too, if it's plugged in, it's going to use a lot more electricity. But, who's going to go check their electric bill to tell if it's gone up a few dollars more or not? So this can be very difficult to tell what's going on. Now, I can tell you that if you're using a Windows machine and something's going on with your machine, it's acting funny, I usually reboot when that happens, just to see if there's something quirky going on, and it'll get fixed by the reboot. And if that doesn't work, then I usually go in and look at the task manager, Control-Alt-Delete on your PC, and then in the task manager, I look to see what programs are running, because sometimes there's actually programs running in the background that I either don't know what they are or don't really want them running because they slow my computer down. Well, in a couple of the articles that I found on cryptojacking, you might see a program running in there that has the word miner in it. And if you see that, you just want to click on that. I think you can right click on it and tell it to disable it. So that's something you can look for, at least on the desktop. I really don't know how we could figure out if there was cryptojacking going on your phone. So if any of you guys listening to this have some ideas, please post your thoughts in the comments to help us all learn what to look for if there's cryptojacking happening on our cell phones. Okay, number 4 on the 8 scams we're going to talk about today. This one is scams that promise high returns on investments. So crypto scams that are promising high returns on your crypto investments, they're becoming more and more popular. And while it may seem like an easy get rich quick opportunity, I'm going to tell you, please don't be fooled. If it sounds too good to be true, I'm sorry to say that it probably is. Now, when I first got started in crypto, Bitcoin hadn't been around but for a few years. And in 2015, when I bought my first 3 Bitcoins, it was $250 a piece. So it had come down from its all-time highs of something like $1,300 the year before, because I had written it off. I thought it had gone up so much I couldn't buy any. It's too expensive. And then in the summer of 2015, I happened to look at it, and it was relatively cheap. So because of that, crypto had a lot of room to run. So thousands of percent increases, were common in the first few years, like from 2015 to 2020 even. I on my Ether alone, I think I've made, right now it's down, so I'm only up like maybe 500%. But there were times when that's been up as much as 1,500%. So when there are places that promise you these crazy high returns on your investment, it's not so hard to think that it might be possible, because in crypto that has happened for many people, especially people who got in early on from 2009 to 2017. A lot of people have made a lot of money that got started back then. But I want to say, these days, there's I think the last time I checked, there's over 13,000 different cryptocurrencies. Probably as much as 98 to 99% of those are not worth spending any money on. So what that means is the whole value in the crypto industry is spread out over so many different cryptocurrencies right now that it's becoming harder and harder to get these high rates of return on your purchases. So be careful when you see someplace say, oh, I'm going to be able to get you all kinds of, high returns on your investment. Most of those are centralized places, not decentralized, which means that they're controlling what's happening with your money. You want to be very careful of those. Okay. I get a quick drink of water and say the next one, number 5, are fake cryptocurrency wallets. So these fake cryptocurrency wallets are designed to infect your computer, similar to malware. They get loaded onto your computer with the purpose maybe of stealing your passwords or your private keys. So the way to avoid getting a fake crypto wallet is to make sure you only download wallet software, because that's all a wallet is. It's a piece of software that's either running on your computer or your phone or in a browser. And you want to make sure that you go to websites, the website with the official website where you can download the software from the company who wrote it, and not somebody who's taken that piece of code and then added malware to it. So I have a couple of websites here that you can go to try to get legitimate links. So the first website is cryptolinks.com. CryptoLinks.com, cryptolinks.com. And I just found this place today, and it's a fabulous website. It's got links to just about everything related to crypto that you can think of, including hardware wallets, desktop wallets, news outlets, exchanges, etc. But I'm going to suggest that if you go there and you look for a wallet and you see something you want to check out, I'm going to recommend that you don't actually download anything from that website. You can click on the links and see where it takes you and learn about what they're showing you. But I would take the information and type it directly into a browser and try to go to those websites directly. And that way you can hopefully be able to tell whether you've gone to a legitimate website or not. A lot of these places, a lot of the crypto projects that are creating wallets and things, a lot of them will have .io after their name, and those are one of the most expensive addresses that you can get, website addresses you can get. So scammers are probably possibly not going to bother paying for a .io website. So I know my favorite wallet that I've been using for a long time is Exodus, and I believe it's Exodus. It's either exodus.io or exodus.com. Now I don't remember. Let me double check. Actually, I think either one of them will take you there. Exodus.io. Yeah, they've actually bought all of them. So exodus.io, exodus.com, all takes you to the same place. So I trust Exodus. Like I said, I've been using it for years. I have it on my desktop, but they also have a wallet version, and they are connected. So what I see on my desktop, I see on my wallet. And I really, really like the Exodus wallet. There's another website I'm going to give you that also gives you links to wallets that I think are safe to use. And I believe the website is a safe place to get those links. And that's investopedia.com. INVESTOPEDIA.com, investopedia.com. They have a list of only a few wallets there, but I went and checked them, and they all go to legitimate addresses. So for people newer to crypto, like I said before, I recommend Exodus, but I also like the Coinbase wallet. I've used that many times when sometimes there's assets that you just can't put in any wallet. Sometimes there's assets that Exodus won't accept. So I sometimes have to use the Coinbase wallet because it allows me to store a lot more different cryptos. And of course, Coinbase wallet was created by Coinbase. Another wallet that I think is trustworthy and a decent wallet is Trust Wallet. Now, Trust Wallet was bought several years ago by Binance. So Trust Wallet is now basically a product of Binance. So you'll see the Binance coin BNB on there. So anyway, I have used that one. I just don't use it as much since Binance bought it because I can't use the Binance platform. Another wallet that a lot of people have probably not heard of, but I think is a very well done wallet, is called Garda. And that's spelled Guarda, Garda wallet. So all those ones that I've mentioned, I've used, and I think they are all reasonable. Now, there's tons more of wallets that I've used. Sometimes I've bought some slightly obscure cryptocurrencies, and most of the wallets that I just listed, they won't accept them. So oftentimes those places will have their own wallet. So I'll go to the App Store and download a specific wallet for one coin. One that comes to mind is Civic. I've been following Civic since 2016 or something like that. It's a project that I really believe in, focused on decentralized identity. And it's a wallet, but it also has your identity tied to the blockchain. So that's one. When I used to own some Civic, I downloaded the Civic wallet so that I could keep my crypto just on that one. So sometimes you have to get a specific wallet. You can't just use any of the general ones like I just listed. So be careful. With all of these scams, you have to be careful. And when in doubt, if you're not sure, feel free to come ask us at Life with Crypto on the Facebook group. We'll do our best to help you figure out what's safe. Okay, number 6. I know this is a little bit longer training today, but I think it's worthwhile content. And hopefully, if you agree, that you'll put a 1 in the comments. Okay, so number 6 are Ponzi scams. Now, these scams usually promise you very high returns in a very short period of time. This plays on people's emotions who might be strapped for cash. They get lured into these projects by a promise to reduce their financial pain, basically. A Ponzi site, also typically they have a referral program because they want you to bring more people into the Ponzi scheme. And you might actually earn a few dollars if you sign somebody up. But don't be fooled by those few dollars of commission that you might earn. If you get in early on a Ponzi scheme, you actually might make some money. I know some people who have gone into some projects knowing in their minds that it was a Ponzi scheme, but they played the Ponzi by getting some money in, making a few dollars, and getting out immediately. So you can do that, but that is definitely risky because you risk that Ponzi collapsing before you get your money out. Plus, if they have sometimes these things will have a restriction on what you can withdraw, how much you can withdraw, and when you can withdraw. They might put a lock on it and say, well, you can't withdraw your funds for at least 60 days or something like that. And that will delay your exiting options. So I just stay away from Ponzi scams if I can recognize that it is a Ponzi. I'm going to share a little story with you about a Ponzi scheme that I was invited to join and I chose not to. There was some local gals who were starting up a podcast about crypto, and they were looking for people to interview. And a friend of mine sent them to me, and I agreed to do some interviews with them. And I had one interview with them. It went really well. There was two of these gals. One gal was a doctor, and the other gal, I don't remember what she was doing. So the doctor gal was the one that interviewed me. We had a great interview, and I was really looking forward to doing more podcasts with him. But then the other gal, who was the one who really was connected to the Ponzi scheme, and I'm sorry I don't remember the name of it. She invited me out for lunch one day, and she just gave me this major sales spiel. You got to get in on this thing. You're going to be able to double your money in a week or two. And, you know, as soon as she started talking about it, I had red flags going off everywhere. And I tried to be nice and kind and listen to her because, you know, I was invited to speak on their podcast. I didn't want to just completely, you know, get up and walk away, although that's what I wanted to do because I just couldn't believe how hard she was pushing this Ponzi on me. And when she got done with her very lengthy sales pitch, I just said, no, thank you. I'm not interested. And I couldn't believe it, but those two completely wrote me off after that. They wouldn't have anything to do with me because I wouldn't buy into their Ponzi scheme crypto. I was like, wow. So whatever, you know, I'm not going to get involved with Ponzi schemes, and I don't recommend that you do either. There's too many legitimate ways to make money in crypto where you don't have to worry about a rug pull, which is what happens in these Ponzi schemes. You know, they get a lot of people's money in there, and then at some point it just ends, and whoever's left at the end is the one who loses. So, all right, that's enough about Ponzi scams. Right, number 7, there's 2 more to go. Number 7 are fake Telegram and Discord support channels. So I had no idea how much of a problem this was until recently. So I had just had recently in the last few days, I had an issue with my Solana Phantom wallet. I've actually never used Solana. I bought the Solana token, SOL, before, but I just held it in my wallet, actually, in my Exodus wallet. And I finally thought, well, I'm going to try connecting to one of their pools and provide some liquidity. So I set up a Phantom wallet on my computer, and I don't know, I had a brain fart that day because I made a boo-boo and totally forgot to write down the password to the wallet. Now, to the Phantom wallet. I did, however, write down the 12-word seed phrase that went along with it. That was supposed to be what I could use to recover my wallets if anything ever happened. Well, I went ahead, I put some money in there. It was like $500 of Solana. I traded half of it to USDC, went to this website called Raydium, Radyum, and that's where I set up a liquidity position. I provided liquidity in the form of Solana, Sol, and USDC, total of about $500. And then a day later, I went to go back to check on the position to see what kind of rewards I had earned. And then that's when I realized, oh, I forgot to write the dang password down. And I thought, oh, no problem. I should be able to just recover with my 12-word seed phrase. Well, I attempted to do that. And in the process, it should have recovered the address that had my funds in it. And it just couldn't find that address. It kept finding all these other addresses that it wanted me to recover, but they didn't have anything associated with them. They had no money in them. So I tried everything that I knew how to do, but I was unsuccessful. And I decided to go and try Telegram, knowing full well that there's lots of scammers in Telegram channels. I was already very aware of it. But I went in, and I'm almost immediately after texting, I need some help with my Phantom wallet, I was pounced on by like several guys saying, I'll help you, I'll help you. Well, the first guy that I allowed to help me, he sounded legitimate. You know, he He actually made some recommendations. We tried some things and it didn't work. And you know, after a few minutes, I started wondering. I wonder if this guy's a scammer. Well, I think he might have been, because anyway, a few minutes after I worked with him, somebody managed to somehow boot him out, and another guy popped up, and he actually had the Radium logo on there. He seemed more legit, and he told me some things I needed to do in Telegram to keep these scammers from constantly dinging me to try to get my attention. So we did that. I removed all my comments in there so people wouldn't think I still needed help. And this guy spent over an hour trying to help me solve recovering my wallet using the seed phrase. And it didn't work. Nothing we tried worked. I think I might have set up I had set up Phantom with my ledger. And I think I might have set that up incorrectly. I'm going to do some research and go figure that out after this call, or after this live video, actually. So they both, the first guy, I wasn't sure if he was legit. The second guy seemed very legit because he was really trying to help me. He spent a lot of time on the phone with me through Telegram. But to be honest, I really didn't know for sure whether either of them were legit. So because both of them had asked me for my seed phrase and my wallet address. Now, the moment they asked me for that, it was a red flag. I pushed back. I said, I don't want to send you my seed phrase. Well, I can't, what they said was, oh, we can't recover your Phantom password without the seed phrase. And I thought, well, okay, that's possibly legit. So I actually shared my seed phrase and my address, which I know you should not do. And I'm telling you guys right now, don't ever do that. And the reason I went ahead and shared is because I already couldn't access my funds. To me, it was already lost because nothing I did worked. I could not get access to it. And so this was kind of an experience for me to try to see if I ever needed support from a platform, where would I go get it? How would it work? I've heard of so many people being scammed in these places, but I hadn't experienced it. So it was a little bit of an expensive experience, but losing my password or not writing it down is what caused me to lose the money in the first place. So I got scammed within an hour after trying to get some help on Telegram. The funds that I had put on the Radium platform in the pool were just gone. What I find strange is they did not drain the $5 I had left in my Ledger wallet. It was still sitting there. So somehow they figured out how to get my funds off of the pool platform. And I have no idea how they did that, or how they could do that. Because it would have been nice if they had showed me how to do it and I could have, gotten my own money back. But so I'm sharing this story so that, be very careful about trying to get support through Telegram or Discord or any of these other places. I actually tried to go to Discord first, and I couldn't get connected to their Discord account. I would have trusted Discord more than Telegram. So my advice is maybe just don't try to get support through Telegram. So fake Telegram and Discord support channels. There are lots of them. Okay, number 8, the last one. Fake crypto investing platforms. Now, I mentioned some earlier, but this is one specific. This is a specific fake crypto investing platform that I got involved with back in 2018. Now, it wasn't actually totally fake, but there was an aspect of it that was. And I want to share the story with you so that it will hopefully educate you what to look for. So the platform was called Dropl, Dropil. And you can Google Dropl, to find out what it was all about. But I got involved with them, like I said, back in 2018. Dropl was a platform that provided 3 primary services. They had an automated trading system called DEX. The keyword there, it was automated. They had an analysis and signals bot called Arthur, and they had a wallet called Max. And I was very excited about learning how to program this bot that would go do automatic trades for me so I wouldn't have to spend so much time in front of the computer. But then when I learned about what their trading system called DEX was, it was automatic and it would do the bot trades for me. So I started using the DEX. It was designed to remove the human emotion from trading by managing the trades in a user's account according to their risk. They had safe, moderate, and aggressive. and I usually went somewhere around moderate or aggressive to see what I could get. The trading was all done by their algorithms, the bots that they had programmed. I really loved it because it was so easy. I started earning drops right away as rewards, and that was my very first adventure into yield farming. And it seemed successful. I kept earning rewards every I forget how many days. I think it was every week. They would I don't know the right word, maybe harvest, that my account would go up every week because I would get more and more rewards. So even though I was earning more and more rewards in the form of drops, I was losing money because the drop token kept dropping in value. I'm like, why do I keep wanting to get these drop tokens if they're just going to become worthless? So a few months after I got into this platform, I ended up closing all my positions and selling all my drop because they just, I was losing money. So that was the extent of it. I didn't bother going in and learning how to use their other systems because I just didn't have the time back then. And 2 years later, the founders of Dropl were accused of fraud by the SEC. I was somewhat surprised, but not totally surprised when I saw this come out in 2020. You see, their bot trading platform didn't really work. It didn't return gains for users of the DEX platform that they had created. It didn't really make enough profit in order to pay people every week like they promised. So the founders ended up treating their DEX platform like a Ponzi scheme. They kept paying out enough profits every week to make it look like their bot was actually generating profits and paying into your account. And I started getting a little bit suspicious of them, although I didn't think that they were a Ponzi scheme, but they would not provide any details about how they were generating their profits on the DEX platform, their trading bots. How did it work? And many people kept asking them for information, and they eventually got suspicious. And I got a little bit suspicious too, but I didn't know enough to know what I was suspicious about. So whenever you got to be careful. Now, luckily, I don't think this is something that happens often. Well, maybe it does, and I just haven't experienced them. I use a lot of liquidity platforms now. I play a lot in yield farming, and I've never had anything like this happen since. But there are fake crypto investing platforms out there. And if there's anything that raises a red flag for you, just get your money off of that platform and go find another one, because there's plenty of good ones out there. So that is it for my 8 crypto scams and what you might be able to do to avoid them. I hope you found this live training helpful. Again, put a 1 in the comments for me. Let me know that you liked it. That way I know I'm on the right track with providing content that you guys want. So I hope you have a great rest of your Monday. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.